Good morning. Hey, Margie. Hey, Kelly. Very nice. Into the studio. Hang on. Morning. All right, hang on one second, guys. Oh, what am I doing? I want to do that. All right. Good morning, sunshine. How was your meditation?
Super awesome.
Yeah, I'll bet. Ooh, that's a little bright. Let's start a little lower than that. All right. Well, good morning. Good morning at home. Merry Christmas to everybody. Stay right where you are. If you're at home, just chill on your mat for a minute. I'm going to get us all set up here so hopefully you can see me okay. It's right here. I think that'll work perfectly. All right. All right. All right, so you guys at home, feel free to play some Christmas music. Amber might have sent you a playlist for this morning. It's most important that on our Christmas practice together that you do what's best for you. Okay, so good morning at home. Good morning to our studio yogis. I'm going to encourage you to just lay on your mat. It is a day for easing into our holiday. And we're going to do that together. So did you just come to meditate or are you actually going to practice? Yeah. You're here for me. I love it. That's so good. You thought I was going to bring the kittens. That's what you thought, huh? You're like, is she bringing those kittens? I had a very good adoption week. So the kittens that I wanted to bring are all going home or have gone home. So there you go. Oops. Are you guys cold? Silly question, but oops. It's not, did you, was it this temperature when you walked in? Okay. And flop down, all right. All right, anybody have anything in particular that's cranky that they wanna work on? Any postures that you love, you hate? We don't celebrate hate on Christmas, we just celebrate love. Do what, wrist? Yeah. Are they sore? You're sore? Mine are super sore, actually. I have to say that. Um, They're watching right there. Well, I'll move it over. Nope. Here, I'm gonna put it. I'll put it over here. There you go. They can get Chelsea. She's an instructor, so she has to be on if she how's that? We always say if you're here and you're not supposed to be, like you're supposed to be at work or something, we'll just make sure you're not on camera. So we don't have a visual evidence that we're but everybody should be in yoga. So all right, so let's go ahead and start in child's pose. So are you familiar with the poses?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna lay face down, if you will, but crunch down, butts towards our heels, reaching out in front. Or if you prefer, you can reach your hands behind you or by your back or by your side, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And child's pose, long time ago in the fitness world, we used to call it our safe little place to be. We didn't really use the yoga terminology. So just feels good for most people. If for any reason child's pose is bothering your knees and or your feet, it's always appropriate to put a block between your feet and just sit your bottom right down on the block. So let's just bring awareness to our breathing for a moment. And again, if you guys at home, if you want to hit the playlist that Amber sent you, or you just want to play some Christmas music or some non-Christmas music, if that's not your holiday that you love, just put on something that's going to allow you to relax, allow you to just get into your practice and have a nice peaceful start to your Christmas day. Your breath metaphorically can travel all the way down your back into the depths of your feet, your toes. Your exhale can allow your chest to just float right down onto your legs and just release and relax. Let go of anything that's not serving you anymore. So inhaling breath brings in the new, and our exhaling breath lets go of absolutely everything that we no longer want to keep inside. Breathing in and breathing out is our gift to bringing in the new and purging the old. All right, let's bring in some music for a minute. Excuse my little YouTube ad here while we get through that. And here comes our music. In child's pose, if you would, just walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Just tiptoe them over there. Oops, maybe not that loud, huh? There we go. And you'll feel your left side body just expanding a little bit. Feel it reach all the way out. So from child's pose with your arms reaching over, just sit your left side all the way down. See if you can open that left side rib cage a little bit. And then shift center, walk your hands through the center and just take everything over to the left, expanding your right side reach. So reaching that right side all the way out. What happened to my music? Again, sitting your right hip down close to your right foot. Take 2 breaths here. Use your exhale to just sit that hip and heel much closer. And then I'll meet you back in the middle with our extension. So arms going to go all the way out in front, reach all the way out. And sit your hips back close to your heels. Just notice what comes up. How do your hips feel? How do your back feel? How are your feet this morning? And we're just going to progressively move through that as we go through our practice. Shift into the all fours position for me. Just a nice, easy tabletop. And curl your toes and just put a little push into the balls of your feet. Let's dip our belly and inhale into our cow back. And take a nice strong push away exhale into our cat back. Release your chin towards your chest. Finding your neutral spine, flatten your feet, and again, just sit back in child's pose for me. Just see if it feels a little different, that you've just worked a little bit through your back. Let's all bring our hands behind our back wherever you're comfortable. If you can interlace them at your low back, let's do that. But if you cannot or don't want to, hands by your side is perfectly fine. If you're so inclined, interlaced fingers can come together and just reach those arms up towards the ceiling or the sun. And that may or may not work for you. And please, whatever's best for you, let's honor your journey where you're at. Take one more breath in wherever you're at. And if you haven't, release your hands by your side. Sweep forward gently, find the all fours position again. Let's curl our toes, put a little push in the balls of our feet, and then inhale into our cow back. And exhale into our cat back. Once again, we're going to find our neutral spine, flatten our feet. Let's take our knees out wide this time and sit back into child's pose. See if you can drop your hips right down in between your feet. So if you can't get in between your feet with your hips, you might take a block and just place it between your heels or right here where your glutes will match. Sorry about my butt in the camera, you guys. And then just sit down. You know, it's always just really pleasant to see someone's butt first thing in the morning, especially on the holiday. And so that's just a little alternative if you have any trouble with your back or you have any trouble with your feet like I do. You guys that know me well know my feet are a little bit crabby. All right, so we have wide knees and narrow feet. Now we're going to shift into the all fours position, straighten out those feet, curl your toes, and just hover your knees a little bit above the ground. Just building a little heat, building a little strength. If it's too much on your wrists, like Chelsea and I were talking, our wrists are a little bit sore, feel free to just do it from your forearms or just not do it at all. That's another option. Also, fists give you a little bit more strength in your wrist. So if you make a fist nice and strong, watch out for your thumbs that they don't bear the brunt of your weight, and just hang out for a second. And then let's press up gently and find an easy downward facing dog. So our first downward facing dog of the morning, picking up our feet, lowering our heels down, just bending our knees as if we're walking in place or marching in place, getting our blood flow into our legs. And all the while, we're still letting our breath flow. So remember those deep inhales and those nice, strong exhales. Remember, your exhale is going to gather up all that dark energy, anything that you're hanging on to, especially from this year, that you need to send out. Let's go ahead and send it out. Tiptoe very slowly and gently. Bring your feet towards the top of your mat. Please bend your knees as much as you need to and hang out right here. We can grab opposite elbows. If you have blocks, you're welcome to just place your hands on blocks. It's going to take a little pressure off your low back. Okay, so if you have any trouble with your low back, putting your hands on blocks or putting your hands on some kind of a prop is really helpful. And then you can sway side to side. Let's see if we can loosen up those hips a little bit. If you'd like to grab opposite elbows, if you want to ballistically move or bounce a little bit, that's totally fine. We just want to be very gentle if we're ballistically moving. Nice. Chelsea is using, you can see her off to my right in the camera, she's using a bolster actually, or roller to help with the length of her spine. So she's actually put that bolster right here and she's able to come down almost to her elbows. So that's a nice, helpful way to just loosen up your low back also. Sweep your hands when you're ready to release, just forward and back as if you're sitting in a chair in the sand at the beach. Not this morning because it's like 40 degrees here, but maybe in July when it's 130. And when you're set, just slow down and very gently hands to the earth. Inhale, look forward. And see if we can straighten our legs just a little bit to forward fold. So belly comes towards our thighs, nose towards our knees. And that's very much a personal journey. Doesn't matter just how flexible your hamstrings are. Inhale, flat back extension. Come up and look forward with me. And then a little straighter legs if you can. Expand your hamstrings. Exhale, forward fold. Let go of all of your air. Get everything out on those exhales. Nice, deep, slow inhale, back extension. Look forward, a little bit of an up dog spine here. And then straighter legs, even still. Exhale, forward fold, nose towards your knees. Unfolding slowly, we're standing up together for the first time. Inhale, come on up. Circle the sun, reach all the way up. Gather up your new energy. Pull it all into your heart center. Thumbs to your heart, hands to prayer. And just take a moment to breathe. As we gently start to move, please enjoy your practice. Do everything you want to do. Release your hands into Tadasana with me or mountain pose. And please opt out of anything that doesn't seem like something you want to do this morning. Inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, find your mat. Swan dive forward, hands to the earth. Look forward as you inhale, a gentle step back into plank, or if you prefer with me, I'm going to take knee plank this morning. So knees to the earth. Inhale, take a deep breath in, and then chaturanga, lower down. Come through upward facing dog, and let's put our feet and our knees on the mat for a moment. Roll our right hips up in just a little rotation. And then come back to the center. Roll your right hip down and your left hip up, just a little rotation. Come on back to the center. You can have knees and feet down, or if you want, you can take those knees up and be on the tops of your feet. And then curl your toes over, meet me in downward facing dog, pedal it out, left, right, left, right. And remember, guys, if your wrists are bothering you, drop to your knees and your forearms, or just your forearms. Get off those wrists if they're a little crabby this morning. Inhale, peek at your fingers, tiptoe, or if you're ready to take a little hop, especially if you're all warmed up, take that hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, back extension, and a forward fold. Let's all put our left hand on the mat or on your block. I'm gonna use my block. Bend your right knee for me and just rotate and look up to the right. Oops, there goes my earbud. Sorry, you guys at home, that probably was pretty loud. And then when you're set, bring your right hand down, straighten your right leg, and then bend your left knee and take that little rotation, reach up. So as much as you can keep your right leg straight, but really bend that left knee, come on down, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, straighter legs for me, bow forward. Root down, rise up, here we go. Inhale, circle the sun. Little back bend if you're able to, and then hands to heart center. All right, let's move a little more quickly if you're ready to. Inhale, circle. Exhale, swan dive, find your mat. Look forward, inhale, both feet back, high through low plank. Remember, take your knees if you want to, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and our downward facing dog. Pause for a moment, lift and lower your feet, walking gently in place, and then right leg rises when you're ready. Bend your knee for me, take a few little hip circles, and reverse those hip circles, looking really good, you guys. Raise your toes as high as you can on the right side and step forward and through. Let's find a low lunge. So go ahead and drop your back knee for just a moment. Come up, find your stability and inhale, circle the sun. Hands through prayer right here. We take an easy twist to your right. So many versions of this. You guys that are feeling strong, pop up off that back knee and go ahead and open up the distance between your fingers. Those of you that want a little bit of conservation this morning, hang out here on your knee and just gently take yourself through your day. Whether you're on your knee or on your toes, you can reach up. You can also bind by bringing your hand behind your back, taking this front hand underneath your leg and see if you can connect your fingers. This is a great place for a prop or a tool. Even I have just my socks that I wore this morning. So one of the things you can do with just really home props is you can take your bottom hand right there and just see if you can grab, or probably your top hand would be better, and see if you can grab the other end to make your bind complete. That's also where a strap comes in very handy too. All right, hands come back to prayer. While I'm chatting, everybody's all twisted out. Hands to the earth, front foot meets your back, or front knee meets your back if you're in modified, and find your plank. Let's just hold and build some heat right here. So in our plank position, we have a relatively strong back. We've got a belly tucked in nice and strong, and our legs are just flexed and supporting us. Take a deep breath in, either flow or go straight to your down dog, your choice. So I'm gonna take my chaturanga from my knees though. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and I'll meet you all in downward facing dog. Pedal out, left, right, left, right. Nice, let's take that left leg up. Repeat our sequence on this side, so bend your knee. Take your hip circles to your level of comfort. Little hip circles, there you go, nice job. Reverse them, of course. And then left leg rises super high. Here comes our step forward and through into our low lunge. So go ahead, place that front foot, drop your back knee, and take a moment and set your alignment. Yep, looks really good, guys. Inhale, circle. Pulling our hands through heart center, we're gonna twist to the left this time. So for you at home, whichever way you didn't twist, it doesn't matter left or right, does it? If you want to pop up off that back knee and fire up that back leg, you're welcome to. If you want to open up, you're welcome to do that too. I'm going to stay in our modified version. And remember, if you want to bind, your top arm comes behind your back, your lower arm goes under your leg, and we see if we can connect our fingers or even get close. What that does is just enhances our twist a little bit, gets into those organs and kind of wrings them out. So whatever works for you. You can even one hand down, one hand behind your back. Exhaling breath, open your shoulder, take a peek up if you can. Good job. And then come on back to center, hands to heart if you can. Just reestablish your balance, hands to the earth, front foot meets your back, and either take a flow or take your down dog, your choice, always your choice. And your upward facing dog into your downward facing dog. Nice job. Let's take a pause into a strength moment. Inhale, look at your fingers. We're going to step out left and right and drop into our yogi squat. So yogi squat is one of the postures that builds strength in the knees, it brings strength in the legs, but it's also a posture that if you need a block or a tool to sit on, it's a really great place for a block. Do you want a block, sweetheart? Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Any help I can get?
Yeah, so that's the high end. See, you're welcome to sit right down on that. You trust yourself. You can even double up the blocks if you want to. So on our yogi squat, or you can sit on the high end. Just don't put too much weight on it, right? Not because it won't hold you, because it topples very easily on this end. From your yogi squat, see if you can hang here for one more breath in. Building strength in those legs and knees. Stay through your exhale. Reach up with me if you can, and then forward fold your exhale. So hands to the mat, pop up, feet come together, and if you are using a block with me, just place it off to the side. Inhale, look forward, and we're going to place our hands on the mat. Step or hop back, high through low plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Excellent. Take a step in with each foot and ease those heels a little closer to the earth. Then inhale, look at your fingers, and exhale, look at your toes. Heels towards the earth as you do that. Inhale, look at your fingers. Step, or if you want, hop into yogi squat this time. So a nice little hop if you can. Building strength in those knees one more time. Push your knees open with your elbows. Bring your back as straight as you possibly can. Take a deep breath in. If you can reach up on your exhale. Inhale, hands to heart center, and then forward fold your exhale. Step your feet together. Beautiful. Unfold your spine gently when you're ready. So come on up. Inhale, circle the sun. Little back bend if you're able to, and hands to heart center. Let's play with our balance just a little bit, right? We'll see who had too much sugar last night. Who's all like, woo! Tap your right foot for me. Get all your weight onto your left. And then when you're set, let's just lift our knees straight up in front. If you want, hang on underneath your thigh, or you can embrace the knee right under the knee joint. Here, we're going to just bend over that leg. Just bend over it. Take a deep breath in. See if you can reach your foot. If you've got your foot, see if you can put your footprint on the wall in front of you. And if you can do any of that, bring your nose in the direction of your knee. And we're just going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then bend your knee and replace it down. Let's take a flow. Inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, find your mat. We're just going to shake it out so we can do the other side. Inhale, look forward. Step or hop back. High through low plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Pedal it out for a minute. You might feel a little awkwardly strong on your right side, and like our left side's going to catch up in just a second. Remember, guys, too, taking child's pose and a sip of water or whatever you're sipping on this morning. Hopefully it's not too powerful first thing in the morning. So yeah, no more of that. Let's just stick to like coffee, tea, maybe a hot chocolate would be very appropriate this morning, but we'll keep all the extra stuff out. Right, there you go. All right, from downward facing dog, inhale, peek at your fingers. Step, hop, or float all the way to the top of your mat. If you're hopping, try to land on your I call them your library feet, nice and soft. Inhale, look forward. Deep bow forward, the straightest legs you possibly can have. Now, soft knees as we inhale, circle the sun, come up. Take your back bend, expanding your belly, getting your back to be stronger, and hands to heart center. All right, are we ready? All you weight on your right leg. Tap that left toe. It's really helpful if you focus your gaze on something that's not moving. So whatever y'all have here in the studio, we have curtains and little spots on the floor and stuff. At home, if there's just something on your wall or something you can focus on that's not moving, like if you're doing yoga like me with the cats and dogs, they're moving, so not them. All right, so lifting your left leg and either embrace on your calf, or if you want, hold underneath your leg here on your hamstring. And then just see if you can hinge forward. So if you need to hold on to something while you're doing that, maybe it's holding something and holding one knee, or maybe we're tapping down and lifting up like I am 1,000 times. Reach down for your foot. And once you have your balance, take a deep breath in and put your footprint on the wall in front of you. Okay, so if you hold that leg out and you've got it, bring your nose towards your knee. Maybe you're holding your knee here, maybe you're just tapping your toe here, and we have a little hinge forward, or maybe we're extending out here. Okay, so whatever you have, let's hold for 3 more seconds if we can. Then 2. This is not my good side this morning, is it? And bring it back together. All right, so not like me, better than that, right? Hopefully you guys are watching Chelsea because you did way better than I did. Inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, swan dive forward, finding your mat. Take a flow or meet me in down dog, your choice. So remember, high through low plank is our chaturanga, holding slightly off the ground, sweeping through with flat feet and knees elevated, maybe or maybe not, and then downward facing dog. Let's take our warrior dance when you're ready. Right foot rises into the air. Really extend and expand. Feel the expansion there. Sweeping forward, find your warrior 1. Quick check of our feet when we get to warrior 1 and our balance. Reaching up nice and high, but anchoring your front heel and your back foot slightly forward. Hips and shoulders forward. Inhale, reach up, offering those arms, bringing peace and love into our hearts. So good. Hands through heart center, open warrior 2. Check your warrior 2, just shoulders over your hips, and we want not to be leaning too far forward, not to be leaning too far back, just to keep our balance and develop our strength. From palm up on our inhale, Sutter offering to the back. So sun warrior, hearts open to the sun. If possible, even rotate your right shoulder so you can look up to the sun. And then warrior 2 on your inhale, come back here. Side angle, so a gentle touch, or if you'd like, you can go all the way down, or even to the outside of your foot if you want more. And that top arm might reach up, or it might hang out on your hip if that's a better place for you. So either way, your warrior 2 into your side angle at your best pace. Let's take our left hand behind our back if you can. Notice how now you can rotate your left shoulder up. Take a peek up to the sun. Everyone's anchored in your front heel, not your toes, right? So we have that heel anchored part. Take a deep breath in and come up to your warrior 2. So just nice strong legs right here where we came from. We're gonna take a reverse warrior into a flow. So inhale into reverse and then cartwheel your hands down. Front foot meets your back, high to low plank, chaturanga. Remember, take your knees or skip the chaturanga if you'd like to, upward facing into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here. You can drop to your elbows. Even dropping to child's pose is an appropriate thing. Quick little rest. Those of you who want to play, take a moment and maybe do your kick-ups here, or your headstand, or your forearm stand. So this is a great place if you're working on your kick-ups. Just elevate one leg and just do maybe just a little hopping. Just try to figure out where is that sweet spot where I can get a little bit of balance. If you're not ready for handstands, that's fine, but great opportunity. Nice, guys. And remember, if you're here, or even if you're at home, feel free to use a wall or a couch or something as your catch point, something to kind of catch you on the way down. Yeah, so play with that one side and then take a little break. I'm just gonna make sure this front door is locked. Be right back, good job. Everybody still alive? Okay, good, just checking. Make sure I didn't lose anybody in the 30 seconds I stepped out there. Good, hey, we're doing great then. All right, from downward facing dog, left leg rises. Here we come, giant step forward and through into warrior one. Heels are our anchor point, toes are just touch points, and we reach up with an open heart and a nice big gaze, inviting in the new. Open into warrior two. Setting the stage for a beautiful transition from one year to the next. Left palm comes open or front palm, and take your sun or reverse warrior, an offering of your heart to the sun. Rotate it up slightly. Backhand can be wherever you're comfortable. Just please watch that back knee joint with your pressure point. We don't want to put any leaning into that. Let's take our warrior two very gently. Check if you can, shoulders and hips are aligned. Easier for us in the studio, we have a mirror right here in front of us. At home, just do it. If you have a mirror, great. But if not, just sort of intuitively, do you feel aligned? And then if you want to come all the way down, feel free to do that. If you want to come outside of that front foot, maybe even use a prop. Remember too, you guys at home, pillows are great props. Like a sleeping dog is a good prop. It's not too much pressure. Probably wouldn't use a child. That might just border on not too cool. But you can just touch that block. Just gives you a place to find the earth coming up a little closer to you. Let's take that hand behind your back. Remember now, as we rotate our top shoulder up, we're going to feel the opening across our chest and just the release of that tissue, just allowing more blood flow in there. Back heel is anchored, front heel. Remember, our toes are very, very viable. We can lift them. Perfect. Take one more breath in. And lift up. Ground your heels. Get ready to use those legs, warrior two. So use your legs to come back up. Nice job, guys. Offering is our inhale, so we can cartwheel and take our flow. As we exhale, let's do it. Hands to the earth. Take your flow, or if you don't want to, just meet us in downward facing dog. Exhaling breath comes through our up dog. And then a deep inhale takes us into our downward facing dog. So if you were playing, we were playing here in the studio with some kick-ups here. This time, put your non-dominant leg in the air first, which is a little awkward. So for me, that's my left leg up, and then just hop a couple times off your right foot. So whichever foot you didn't do, if you're playing with that, it's not necessary, just see how it feels a little different. And again, if you can put yourself up to a wall, and so Jackie and Kelly, I don't think teach the wall thing. They're like, don't use the wall, it's a crush. For me, I'm like, I need the wall. I'm like over 50. So I'm putting the 50 card on the table and going, I'm using the wall. But it just gives you a little idea of how to do it. Yeah, grab a sip of water, take a moment back to your mat. And so that was our first little warrior dance with a few little fun plays in it. So if you haven't grabbed your water, go ahead and do that. Again, we can't see what y'all are drinking at home. Maybe I should turn that screen on, see if you guys are paying attention, huh? Let me see if I can find everybody. I'm not going to play with that. God knows I'll probably disconnect us, but I'm trusting you guys. Drink water, okay? Leave the eggnog or whatever for later. All right, here we go. Meet in child's pose. Just kind of regroup for a second. Have some fun with everything that we do. It's so important. Keep it smile. All right, let's shift forward onto our elbows with our glutes in the air. So it's if we're going to go into a forearm stand or we're going to go into a headstand. What I'd like to invite you to do is reach your right arm forward, just thread your left shoulder through and sink that down. This should feel pretty good if you've been hoisting around presents and hanging up decorations and goodness knows what else. For me, schlepping 40-pound bags of pine pellets to litter pans, whatever you've been doing. I know Chelsea's always out at the goat and donkey yoga place, and goodness knows what she's probably mucking stalls and helping out all kinds of things. Take a deep breath in, guys, and as your left shoulder finds the earth, reach your right hand more forward, and then just gently expand the distance between your two finger sets. So we're making like a little bit of an L or a little bit, yeah, it's really kind of like an L. Then your front arm, we're going to bring it in for support. Pop up to the all fours position with me just for a moment. Take a cow-cat flow. So on your inhale is your arch back, cow back. On your exhale is your cat push away. If we could meet back in the all fours and come down to our elbows again, this time we're going to reach our
left or our other arm forward and thread your other shoulder through. So for us, it was left arm forward, right shoulder through is where we're at right now. And if you can just remember to do the other side, that's all that matters. See if this shoulder goes as easily to the earth as the other, or maybe more easily. Or for me, this side doesn't work quite as well as the other side. So just notice how you feel there. Let's take that front hand, expand it a little more if you feel like you can, and thread your underneath arm through just a little bit better, or a little bit, not better. Better is not a good word for yoga. A little bit deeper, I guess, is our word for the day, deeper. Hips stay in the air, and that kind of helps us open our glutes and low back connection too. It's really a nice posture to get into in between some of the things we're doing. Bring your left hand in, kind of retract it, pop back up to the all fours position when you're ready. Deep breath and inhale into your cow back. As we exhale into cat, push the earth away, round, tuck your chin slightly. Can we all curl our toes just a little bit? Hover our knees slightly off the ground, and then ease back up into our downward facing dog. Nice job. Pick up your feet and place them down as if you're walking, but you're just kind of marching in place. Inhale, right leg rises when you're ready. Take that giant step forward and through, and right into warrior two this time. You're going to take a little balancing half moon sequence this time. So if you're a prop user, your block goes to the right side of your right leg. Warrior two is our starting point. Gently straighten your front leg and then bend it. Let's do that 3 times. Straight leg and bend it. Straight and bend it. Now as we straighten this time, reach up. As we bend it, hands through heart, push away. This is called exalted warrior. Lift, pull, expand. One more time. Just getting ourselves into a little deeper hold right here of warrior two. Deep breath in, hands behind your back. Swivel or pivot your shoulders forward, and you can hang out right here. Bow down gently into humble warrior if you have that in your practice. So my shoulder comes inside my knee. I'm tucking my chin slightly, and if possible, I'm elevating my interlaced hands. How deep those hands go up is just it's a reflection of where your shoulder flexibility is. And if your palms are apart, you might gently put them together and notice maybe you can't lift your hands quite as high when you do that. And that's okay. It's just working through those tissues and that flexibility element. Gently lower your hands to the earth. Come up on your back toe. Find a lunge right here. An option to knee drop or not, reach all the way up into your crescent lunge. So crescent lunge modified is really our low lunge, and that's fine too. If you're up on those back toes, you fired up that back leg, you're nice and strong, and then hands to the earth, front foot meets your back. High plank position, find your flow or take your down dog. Chaturanga, you can always add some presses or push-ups too, for those of you that have that really super strong practice and you want that extra element of power. In our down dog, we release our power and we surrender into the expansion of the posture. So this is a release of our tissue, just letting go. Practice letting go of things. It's going to be a blessing to every aspect of your life. Left leg rises when you're ready. We step directly into warrior two, placing our heel carefully and then opening up. Heels are our anchor points as we find our warrior two. Settle into it. Expand your hands really proudly. Warrior is a proud, strong posture. Just gently straighten your front knee and rebend it. Do that 3 times. Straighten it and bend it. Remember, anchor point, front heel, not toes. Inhale and exhale. Let's add our arms to make it a full exalted. Inhale, hands through heart. Push away now. Flex those arms. Inhale. Strong warriors. Exhale. One more. And hold the deepest expression of warrior two you've been in today. Hands behind your back. If you can, swivel or rotate shoulders forward. You can stay right here or even right here if you need some support. If you want to bow, come on down. Left shoulder comes inside our left knee, reaching our arms up if you can. And again, if you'd rather just put your hands on the earth, that's totally fine. You can see off to my right, Chelsea has her arms interlaced and she's reaching up. The other option is just give yourself support. So you take your posture wherever you'd like to. Nose is approaching the instep of our foot. Inhaling breath. Hands come gently down. Come on up on your back toe, swivel, and either stay in your crescent lunge and reach up, or with us, drop your knee and come into your modified crescent. It's your low lunge. Inhaling breath, reach, expand, fire up those back legs. If your knees are up, hold that strong posture and take your flow. Hands to the earth, front foot meets your back, chaturanga, upward into our downward facing dog. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Remember, child's pose always is an option. Can always come down to the all fours, can always chill out just a little bit. And do one more balancing sequence, and then we're gonna do some yin. Okay, guys, so if you wanna play just a little bit, we're gonna take my favorite posture everybody knows is balancing half moon. So we're gonna just play a little bit with that, and then we're gonna go to our yin. Walk your hands back to meet your feet when you're ready. Latch your peace fingers onto your big toes. And then look forward as you inhale with soft knees, then straighten your legs and exhale your forward fold. Release your fingers from your toes. Come up nice and strong, but slowly. Circle the sun. And hands to heart center. So your block is to the right. I promised you we'd be meeting that right there, and that's where it's at. We're gonna take a giant step forward with our right foot, and warrior three is our first posture here. So lengthening your back leg, gazes forward, maybe slightly beyond the front of your mat, and you may have to tap your toe down and just take a little hinge forward. This may be your warrior three today, and that's totally fine. All right, wherever you're at, hands can come forward, which is a very powerful posture, especially for your back. You can take airplane arms, or you can bring hands to heart center, which tends to help your balance, sorry. Peek down at your mat from warrior three and find your hands to the earth. We're gonna leave our right hand to the earth and open into balancing half moon. Now, some of you have that great balance where you don't wanna touch the earth with your right hand. You're gonna float it, and that's fine too. So feel free to float. My recommendation to you is find your balancing half moon first, and then see if you can gently release your fingers, even just to the touch point, or float there. That's kind of the setup that a lot of people start before they can take directly into their floating half moon. If you're able to hold it a moment longer, bend that back leg, grab hold of your foot, and really pivot open your heart to the side wall or side mirror. If not, though, don't worry about it. Be where you are in great love and peace. Take one more breath in. Just drop that back foot, both hands to the earth. A little pyramid pose here is going to be a transition into a revolve posture. So train track your feet. So you can think of a train track, one foot on one track, slightly forward, one on the back track, the other track slightly back. Bring your nose towards your knee. If we bend any knee in this posture, it's our front knee. Our back leg, we try to anchor down fairly straight. This is a compression posture, so put your belly on your thigh. And if you can really bend that front knee enough, put your forehead on your knee. Tuck your chin, close your throat chakra. Your communication center is closed in pyramid pose. Deep breath in. Exhale and hold your posture, not your breath. Let go of everything. Push it out, wring it out, get rid of all that toxic everything. Come up just enough to find your hands slightly forward. And here, we're going to revolve our triangle. So left hand finds the block or the mat. Right hand's going to go to your low back to just see if you have a nice flat low back. If you can twist from here, we're twisting in the direction of our front bent knee or our front straight leg. If you can keep that leg straight, even more advanced in the posture. But revolved triangle, a nice twisting posture with a flat back, gets all through our rib cage, all those organs, every place that we hold emotional energy and sometimes nutritional toxicity. We want to just wring that out and get our body prepped to purge and eliminate. Take one more breath in. Right hand to your hip or to the ground. Just gently launch your back leg. So you're set up now for revolved half moon. If you can hold that leg in the air and retwist in that same direction, that's our revolved half moon. The tricky part is keeping that back flat with your leg out and elevated, and then the twist. Very difficult posture, really nice. Good job, guys. Take one more breath in. Forward fold, hands down, feet down, relax. All right, we're gonna move our block off the mat, wherever it was. Come on up on your toes, come down into a little squat. This is our duck pose. Just a little release here. Now, blocks in front of your knees, really helpful. Like you're on the little pew thing at church there, you can put your knees on that and bring your back up nice and straight, or you can just hold your squat if you're better, if you have your balance and your strength, you can do that. I like my prop because my feet are really cranky. So there you go. Inhaling breath. Can you close your eyes for me and just exhale everything out? Open your eyes. Reach up on your inhale. Hands to the earth, hips up, forward fold is your exhale. Blocks off the mat if you were using them. Inhale, look forward. Step or hop back, take a flow, or just go to your down dog. We have one more side to do, and then we move to our yin, and we start to wind it down. Celebrating our Christmas in a nice meditative flow, our yoga practice symbolic of bringing in the new and saying a gentle hasta luego to that which no longer serves us. Beautiful job, guys. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. This time we're going to take our hands and cup, if we can, our heels. So get those hands behind your calves, scoop up your heels with your fingers, look forward with super bent knees. As you exhale, just stand up over the legs, bring your nose towards your shins or your knees. Tuck your chin slightly. Take a deep breath in. Pull on your heels a little bit, straighten your legs more, bring your nose a little deeper. One more inhale, peek at your toes, little straighter legs. Push your forearms together behind you and exhale into those shins. Slip your hands out. Tiptoe your way up slowly. Regather your breath. Hands to heart, just meet there when you're ready. If you got there early, great. If you're still coming, that's awesome too. Close your eyes for just a moment. And then release into Tadasana. Baby step forward with your left leg. Blocks to the left if you're using them for half moon. Baby step forward left. We start with warrior three. So I like hands to heart center. It helps me get my balance better. Some of you have airplane or extension right out of the gate. That's awesome. Please take your practice to your level. Trying to keep our back flat initially in our warrior three. Eyes are focused on something that's not moving. Okay, and remember the elevation of your back leg is whatever it is, but just as far forward as we come with our chest is as far up as we go with our legs. So we're nice and straight from toes to head. Reach down gently, find your touch point, and then turn your body open for your balancing half moon. So here in the studio, again, we have the mirror so we can see fingertip to fingertip. We're trying to align hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder. If you want to float it, you're just taking your left hand off your block or the mat. So shift your weight back a little bit, release your fingers, and float. If you can't or don't want to, that's fine. If you have a minute to hold that, bend and release and take your bound half moon. Or even your floating reverse bound. Nice, Chelsea. There's always one super achiever in the studio. We love that. Take one more breath in. Balancing half moon if you can. Back foot down, hands to the earth. Remember, train track your feet as we take our pyramid pose. So all toes facing forward, heels are ground. Our front knee is our bent knee in our pyramid pose. Bring your nose towards your knee. You can bend that front knee as much as you need to. This is a compression posture. So we want, if possible, chest touch to the thigh. We want nose or forehead touch to either the knee, or if you have a straight front leg, you have that flexibility. Your forehead goes to your shin. Okay, so it just depends on your flexibility. And remember, in this particular posture, we're exhaling deeper and deeper. We're not bouncing. So we want to not force bounce. We want to just release and allow. Release and allow. It's sort of our magic here. Our little juju. Release and allow. If your hands are on the earth with mine or a prop, they're gently touching. They're not absorbing a ton of our body weight. Unless you have a severe injury, maybe you need those props a little bit more, and that's fine. All right, heads come gently up. We're going to find our prop if you want it. And if not, we're going to use the earth to revolve our triangle. So our train track feet are actually pretty good for our revolved triangle. Right hand finds the ground or your prop, and left hand finds your low back first. Remember, we want to flatten that low back. If we put a tray of red wine on your white tights, we don't want to spill a drop as we revolve. I said grape juice. Grape juice. If we put grape juice on your back, you know, on our white tights. So we tend to, as we revolve, we tend to poke our hips up in the air a little bit. See if you can get, and what that's going to do is it's going to help you release all that connective tissue in your glutes and back, which is a cause for a lot of our low back pain. So really nice job. If you can, we're going to launch your back leg and find our revolved half moon. So maybe put your hands down, reestablish your balance. And so from revolving your triangle, we launch that back leg up. Keep that back flat. Now that's the tricky part again. That tray is still there. Your white tights are shiny white, and then revolve through your torso. That's getting into all of the innards. That's our gut, our stomach, our intestinal health, all that. We're wringing out the toxicity. And if you have toxicity from the entire year in there, we'll just go ahead and wring all that out. Why not, right? And that to me is one of the hardest postures in yoga, is revolved half moon, because the twist is up here and the revolve in your glutes gets really into that tissue. Come on back down, take an easy forward fold. Okay, can we find our duck pose again? And from here, we're gonna go to a seated position. So no worries about getting up again. If you wanna try the balance part of this without your prop, see if you can drop your knees forward, bring your back up straight. Again, here in the studio, we have the advantage of seeing the mirrors, so we know whether our backs are straight and how forward our knees are. If you guys don't have a mirror, do it on your feel, do it on your touch, or maybe hold on with a block. See if you can get that back up a little straighter. And play with your balance. If you lose it, God knows I lose mine all the time. Take one more breath in. Hands are going to the earth. We're gonna have a seat. And we're gonna extend our legs out in front. Yeah, hallelujah, right? We're finally on the mat. Woohoo! Sounds good. All right, our straddle is going to be our first. So from here, we're in seated staff pose. Let's just take a forward fold and then we'll move to our straddle. Exhaling, breath comes forward. Reach for your feet. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. You guys that have that super great flexibility, take your block, reach it beyond your feet and get all the way around your block. That's not me. I barely can get here. And then bellies to our thighs. We want to reach through that tissue in our glutes. Again, the release of all that stuff that we keep in our hips. We're letting it go. Quick little therapy tool while we're here. I'm going to kind of turn this way so I can see studio and home. So quick little therapy I like to do in this posture. If you can reach your toes, just gently push your toes forward right from the insertion point of your foot. You might feel a little pop, but just that. They get all curled up, balled up in our shoes sometimes, or now we're wearing our boots for the first time in 11 months, and we're going to wear them for like 4 days and put them away for a year. So we want to just get those little baby feet are like, what are you doing to me? I live in Florida. Yeah, it's like, I don't like being confined. I like flip-flops and sandals. All right, unfolding gently. And what we're gonna do is just leave your right leg forward or one leg forward and take your straddle. So your seated straddle. Facing either side, it doesn't matter. If you find in this posture that you automatically have a rounded back, one thing you can do is you can sit on your block. That will help you hinge. Okay, the other thing you can do is bend your knees, and you can put a block under each knee, and that will allow you to hinge also. We want to try to hinge at the low back rather than round right away. Okay, so gentle touch forward, or like Chelsea. Can you guys see Chelsea at home? She's got the foam roller. She's actually just going to roll herself forward, which is nice. So if you have a foam roller that you use for rolling out and whatever, go ahead and just roll that baby forward. And you can use its nice support. It brings the earth up to meet you. And if you have a block, you can reach and just touch. Okay, so easing forward. I like to encourage you, if you rock a little left and right, if your inner thighs are tight, it's going to loosen that up very gently, and you might find a lower spot. But wherever we go, we're just going to hang out here. So if it gets a little too crazy, a little too much inner feedback from your body, come back a little. This is a posture too. If you do have a roller or you want to, I don't mind if you roll forward and roll back just a little bit. Just don't bounce. Do it with intention to go forward and hold, and then come out of it a little bit. So feel free to do that. Just a little bit forward and a little bit back. And then maybe the third or fourth time, see if you can find a new point of flexibility and hold. Drop your head gently between your two elbows or your biceps and just notice what's coming up. Where are your resistance points? Is it inner thigh? Is it back? Is it glutes? Just send your breath through there for a moment. Okay, just send your breath through there for just a moment. Releasing, relaxing, settling down. And if it's too much, come up. Bring your hands right here and just come enough forward so you feel just something gently starting to release. Okay, it doesn't have to be that we are achieving any particular depth of the posture. Take an easy walk to the right or to either side. It doesn't matter. We're going to come to the right here in the studio. If you can reach your foot, go ahead and do that. Initially, just bow down over your leg. If you need to bend this leg to achieve a little bit lower, feel free to do that. Some of you have enough flexibility to take your front hand, your right hand onto your foot, maybe find your peace finger, big toe, drop your elbow, and just reach up. If you can keep coming, come all the way over, maybe your left hand or your other hand can actually grab those toes. You can peek underneath and bring this hand on the same side over to touch your other thigh. So every one of us is at a little different spot. You guys can see Chelsea, she's got that kind of reverse thing going on. So she has her left hand over the top and her right hand is coming underneath. I'm going to stick to here. This is a better posture for me. Take a deep breath in. Stay through the exhale with me. Can you do it? Come a little bit lower. Release slowly towards the center. So take a walk. And can you pause with me in the center? Do you feel that? How much lower you can go just for that extra moment that you've spent on that one side? And that we've just kind of held it. We've worked our breath through the tissue. Tissue starting to just resolve that it's okay to be a little more flexible. Kind of like everything in life, if you just go through it gently, most of the time it resolves to more flexibility in your relationships. Walk over to the left, bow down gently. If you're able to, left piece fingers to your big toe or left hand to your foot, and your right hand's gonna come up. But it might not be your spiritual gift, this posture, and that's okay. Or it's your spiritual gift, but it doesn't look like anyone else's. That's okay too. So on this side, for me personally, this hamstring is way tighter. So I'm just cautious of that. I'm gonna work my breath through it and I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna go where my body will let me go. If you can take your right hand all the way over, peek up underneath and take this left hand over here. That's another twist through your midsection that's really nice. Relaxing your head, bringing your ribs down. Take one more breath in. Stay through the exhale if you can. And then come back through the center for me. So here we are, back in the center, on our roller, on our block, on our pillow, whatever we have, or maybe we're just reaching towards the floor, a mat, whatever it is. This is actually a great place if you have like a big Labrador retriever, you put them right there, and then you just kind of hug all over the top of them. I'm a wicked animal person. Did you guys know that? There you yeah, this isn't really a good posture for the kittens because they're like under your arm and all over the top. But if you have a nice big, like I have a big Labrador retriever and he's a big, just lay down buddy of mine. So he would lay right here and I could just hug on him and see how much love that brings into the posture. Just even thinking about that makes me so excited. So whatever, maybe you have like a significant other that you really want to hug on. So you just put them in front of you and just hug on them. Take 2 more breaths, guys. I'm thinking the goats and the donkeys don't really sit that still. No, they'd be on your back on this posture, doing the, yeah. So I have I have one kitten at home that is a shoulder rider. So if I were here, he'd be here. And, if we were in the touch mode right now in the studio and we're not touching people, right? But if we were adjusting postures, we might come around and just place our hands right on your back and without hurting you, but just ease and let you see how much. So if you have a significant other that you trust or a child that you trust, they can just press down gently, relax your shoulders, and you'll feel the expansion, and you go a little further than you'd go on your own. Just make sure they're not going to be mean to you, because that's not, we're always doing it in loving kindness, it's like, take one more breath in. Can you go just a quarter inch lower, knowing you're not going to stay here? And then retreat with me gently. Beautiful. We're going to pivot around so that your body's on the mat a little bit better. I'm going to stay here just so that I can see everybody. Let's come to our bound angle or butterfly pose. So here we bring our feet together. Our knees are going to float towards the earth. You can push your feet way away from you, or you can bring them right in close to your groin, whatever works for you. But here we want to just take a deep breath. First thing we're going to do is just ease those knees to the ground. So even maybe flap the knees like a butterfly. That's one way to just kind of loosen up those inner thighs, not that they're not already after that straddle. And then just ease them towards the ground, your best version. Inhale, circle the sun. And then hands through heart is the safe way to go forward. Reach for your toes and then draw your belly forward. So as close as you want to get those feet for you guys to have that super flexibility, or as far away as you want, that's totally fine. Just give you a little perspective there. You can see Chelsea, you can see me. And the feedback or the pushback is generally inner thighs or it's our low back, either one of those. So wherever you're at, 3 breaths. And yeah, if you're sitting on your block, which is a great option, that gives you that ability to come forward. So always feel free to take your block, or even just a toss pillow at home will give you a little elevation. That'll give you enough so that you can come forward with that hinge in your spine. Feel free to do that. Exhaling breath brings us forward. Two more breaths. If you can hang here, great. If you need to release a little, come up a little, or maybe slide your feet away, or maybe you want to try them a little closer now that your back's a little bit more flexible. And let's come up when you're ready. Beautiful. Position yourself so you can lay down on your mat. Okay, so we're going to our spine next. So bring your feet way up towards the top of your mat. Excuse my back, guys. I'll change in a second. And we're just gonna hug on your knees, pull your back up super straight. Tuck your chin just a little bit for me here. You should feel an expansion in your neck. And then as you release your head, gently flip down off of your legs and come all the way down to the mat. Oh, so good to lay down. Take our hands out into windshield, or into airplane rather, and we windshield wiper our knees back and forth, okay? So left, right, left, right. Yeah, we've done a lot through our hips. Yeah, so that totally feels great. Choose a side. It doesn't matter to me which video that we go to our right, but you guys choose whatever you want. Sorry, your body fell out again. Stack those knees up at first. Airplane out your arms. And if we're going to the right with our knees, our left shoulder's all the way down to the mat, or we're using our breath to bring it down. Okay, so shoulder down as best we can, legs as far over to the other side. Now, some of you can take that top leg, straighten it out, reach it beyond your bent knee underneath and find the floor. That's gonna get deeper into that top tissue, which is your outer thigh. So your iliac crest, your ilium, your iliopsoas, all of those muscles that connect in your iliac crest in your hip, and then all down the outer edge of your leg. And toes finding the floor, just a little expression of flexibility across that iliac crest and all the connected tissue. You can slide your foot up to actually reach your expanded arm if you can. Sometimes our shoulder comes up if we do that. Breathe through it, see if we can get it back down. This is all about gently encouraging the twist and the expansion of all the tissue involved in it. But symbolically and yoga-ish, we are releasing stuck areas of energy. So notoriously, especially women, we gather up our energy and we stuff it in our gut, we get it in our hips, we get it stuck there, or we get it in our heart center. So we want to just use our yoga practice to release all that stickiness, all that darkness. There are theories and thoughts that a lot of times breast cancer is all about broken hearts and just energy stuffed in that area. And that all of our IBS issues and all of our things related to intestinal and gut health are all of us just sticking our emotional woes into that energy center, that chakra that's right around there. So that is, if you see the color yellow a lot, that's represented by that particular chakra. That's someplace we want to just do this kind of twisting, and then the release is like, whoo, get rid of all that. So it's a nice metaphor and a nice way to just symbolically let your practice represent purging and then renewing. Come on back when you're ready. If your leg was straight, we bend it. Our two bent knees come back to the center. Let's take a back bridge here, hands by our side. Walk your heels in close. On the exhale of your choice, just elevate your hips. Okay, and if you want help, take your block and place it under your back just to hold you up in that bridge for a moment. We want to open our belly. So we twist it all through those midline chakras, that gut feeling place where you get good feelings and sometimes not so good feelings. So we twisted that all, we purged that all out. Now we're opening it up for new breath, new energy. And then our release, if you had your block, of course, flip it out. Let's take our airplane arms one more time. Windshield wiper our knees one more time. I should say a couple times left and right. And then choose your opposite side. For us here in the studio, we're going left with our knees. And we're going to pay attention now to our right shoulder, maybe even gaze over our right shoulder. Palms are finding the earth, our gaze goes over our right shoulder. We got that beautiful twist going through our midsection. So there's an opening on the top, we're stretching, if you will, and there's a compression in the bottom as our knees come over, we're kind of wringing out that lower side. Top foot, top leg, option to straighten. And if you can find the floor, find the floor. And if you can slide your toes upward on the floor to reach for your expanded left arm, feel free to do that. So lots of options in this posture to twist. You may reach for that expanded arm. Shoulders are up. Shoulders are down, sorry. They might pop up, but we're trying to keep them down. We're breathing through to keep them down, sending them that message. See if you can relax your breath through this. Beautiful job, guys. One or two more breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Come on back when you're ready. Bend your top leg. Bring your knees together. Come on back to the center. Let's do that back bridge again. Hands by your side. Lift your hips, kind of realign your spine all the way up. You can even reach your hands behind your head if you want. You certainly can use your hands to support your glutes, or you can put that block back there if you want to. Feel the expansion of your belly, the contraction of your glutes and hamstrings, just kind of rebalancing what we just did. And then gently lower everything down. Hug your knees into your chest. We never even did our happy baby early on. So let me help you find your happy baby. Either just hugging your knees in like a wind removing pose, or peace fingers, find your big toes, distancing your heels, and just perhaps rocking side to side. We did do a lot of things to open our inner thighs today, so hopefully this feels amazing to you. Just rocking side to side, finding the connection of your back to the earth underneath you. And a gentle pause in the center will allow you to bring your heels and feet together. Option here to do waterfall, so just legs up in the air. Those of you that know me and know my practice really well, if I can find my block, here it is. My favorite thing in the world to do is stick a block under our back right here and just hang out in waterfall for like 5 or 10 breaths. Just let life revisit the circulatory system and send out what no longer is serving you. So nothing should be pooling in our ankles, in our knees, our calves, our legs, all the edema, which again, symbolically is toxins, poisons, things that are collecting and just hovering. We want to just release that flow, let our body take its natural course to purge that out. Always a great therapy every day. Get your feet up against the wall, get it up on the, your backboard or your bedboard, your headboard at your bed, and just toss them up in the air against that for just a couple minutes. If you do any strenuous exercise or things outside of yoga, running, cycling, CrossFit, pumping classes, whatever, take a few moments, toss your feet in the air, let the free radicals that we build just recirculate and purge, and then a nice Epsom salt or apple cider vinegar bath is a great therapy tool to just eliminate, pull out all of the toxicity. So using those therapies along with your yoga and your great mindset, getting good sleep, taking in proper nutrition, lots of earth-based food, very plant strong if you can, lots of water, just giving your body all the honoring that you possibly can give it. If you'd like to come from here into a shoulder stand, it's a pretty easy transition. If you like that posture, we just come up, support, and expand. That doesn't work for everyone. It doesn't feel great to everyone, so please don't. Remember, the bridge of our back, our shoulders, is our stopping point, not our neck. And you can then expand over if you want to and find your plow pose. But for a lot of people, or your deaf man's pose, of course, for a lot of people, waterfall is it. It's the place they want to be, place we want to really wind down our practice. So enjoy the last moment or two here. You want to join me in a quick supine pigeon before we find Savasana. We're going to bend both knees, cross one over the other loosely, and then just bring that lower leg in towards your chest. Your foot that's crossed is going to come with you. Now you can remove your block if you want. It's going to deepen the posture to do that. But with your block underneath you, it's just a beautiful release without any real resistance from most people's bodies. So it's a nice way to do either one. You can, of course, extend that top leg. You can reach for your toes. You can take this posture wherever you'd like to. But if we're just kind of taking our holiday version of it, we're just going to keep it soft and gentle. The leg that's on top coming closest to you, that glute cheek and that hamstring may be a little bit tight as you draw that leg in. Maybe it's not, maybe you're super flexible and that's great. And I'm going to just invite you switch legs whenever you're ready. So whenever it best suits you, feel free, switch legs and draw on that glute, hamstring flexibility, bring that all the way in. Nice. And then we'll release when we're ready. I'm going to invite you just extend your legs out. Find a comfortable place for your head on your mat. If you have a foam roller or you have a bolster, it is such a good idea when you're laying on your back to actually put that right underneath the crevice of your knees. So when you lay down, you have a little support at the bend of your knees. It just gives your low back such a beautiful, perfect release like that. And some of you, if you have a tight neck, you can put your block underneath your head, and that just gives you like the ultimate relaxation. Or if you have a little pillow or even just a rolled up sweatshirt or a little like hand towel, that right at the crevice of your neck to support the natural curve we have there. So we have our cervical curve, we have our lumbar curve. When you bend your knees and give it support, it flattens out that lumbar so it isn't forced to be up in the air while we're trying to relax. And then just go ahead and take your savasana. Close your eyes. Let's take 3 really deep breaths together. As you draw your inhale, at least metaphorically understand or send it to the depth of your toes. Fill yourself up just like a glass of water is filling from the bottom to the top. When you have all of the inhale that you can possibly take, grab one more sip, just a tiny little sip. And as you exhale, slowly but strong, as if you're pouring the water back into its source, just let it go. Very, very intentionally, we're in let go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. A little deeper because you've just created more space. Inhale into the tips of your toes. Fill all the way up through your legs, slowly, meaningfully open your rib cage, north, south, east, and west, up through the tops of your shoulders into the follicles of your hair, your crown chakra, your connection with the divine. And exhale, let go of everything that's no longer serving you. Slowly, meaning powerfully, let it go. And as you take your final exhale before I quiet us in Savasana for a moment, inhale deep into your toes and decide who you are going to be when you step off your mat today. You are not going to be able to control the circumstances, the people, the things that happen, but who are you going to be in response to that? Fill yourself all the way up with that peaceful self-love. Exhale all the resistance to that away. Let go, let go, let go. And just be at peace for a moment. Here in the studio, we're going to bring a cool cloth to the side of our participants, our yogis here. You at home, you might want to just have someone bring you a cool cloth, or you might just want to spend a moment on your mat in reflection of, although we had a challenging year, there have been flashes, at least in everybody's life, of laughs, of smiles, of fun. Some people have had new life brought into them, even though we've lost some people, I'm sure, in our lives. So let's bring our focus to the brightness. Let's bring our focus to not wishing away this next week into our next year, but just the flashes or the moments or the just the shining points of our life, and let that fill us up today. If you're going to be around people that can be toxic, be who you are in this moment, full of love, full of peace. Anyone's opinion about you or about something you believe strongly in that's different is not a reflection on you unless you choose to engage. So choose not to. You know who you are. You know what your love is. You know what your peace is. Just be true to yourself. And then things will come and go that conflict with that or that have a different view than that. But that doesn't change you. When people are ready to change, they'll ask your opinion. And if you're a leader in a way that they want, they'll follow you or they'll come with you. They'll walk alongside you. But for now, just be who you are and enjoy that. Take a few divine moments while I gather together the cloths for the people here.
So for you guys in the studio, I put a cool cloth off your left shoulder. If you want to place that on your face, you're welcome to do that. If you want not to, that's okay too. It's a cool day for that. And for all of you, Merry, Merry Christmas. Happy Friday. I wish you a day full of peace and love, safety and joy. Look around at who you're with and just cherish every moment with them, knowing that we have no promises beyond this moment. So just take it all in and enjoy it. For you at home, thanks for tuning in and following along and joining us for a great start to our Christmas day. The divine in me honors the divine in each and every one of you. On behalf of the entire Kula teaching team and Jackie, we're sending prayers out to Jackie. She's due to have a baby any day now. And so we want a safe entry into the world for her new little nugget. So grateful to her for all she's done for us and for the studio for the year. And we're so grateful for the team that we're united to teach in this journey and just bring the world to a better place each and every time we get together. Have a great Christmas. Have a great Friday. Thank you so much for coming and tuning in. Namaste.